Welcome to the Dumbfounded Dipshits podcast. I am Mike. That is Ryan. We are your dipshits of the evening.
What's up, dipshits?
How's everyone doing tonight?
How's everyone doing this week?
It's
Everyone
brighter.
shaking off that fucking St. Patrick's Day hangover?
I,
That
I
3 day long hangover?
complete 3 day.
My stomach was shot only because I'm not used to drinking that much beer in a very short period of
I
time.
didn't even drink. I should have had like a Guinness, but I totally failed and didn't even bother.
I had quite a few
Why? I don't know.
Guinnesses. Quite a
You
few. I
had quite
think
a few.
I definitely had at least 8. I think, which is a
Only
pretty
8.
round number.
Those are amateur numbers. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's not amateur numbers. I'm 100% joking.
Well, compared to what I used to do, 8 it seemed like excessive, but my fucking gut didn't recover. I don't know. Like, I cannot process heavy beers anymore the way I used. I could drink them. I ate, I drank, I had a good time on Friday, but 3 days later, I'm like, still, I can't eat normal food.
How much? I think doesn't Guinness have like less?
It's less alcohol. It's not, okay, I think it's like 4% alcohol as opposed to like,
125 calories in one
it's,
pint
it's,
of Guinness, which isn't
and
a
it's
lot.
not that much. For a light beer is like 90 calories, right?
Yeah,
So it's
well,
like
it's
30 calories more.
calories in a Bud Light.
There is
Oh, it's
solids.
12 calories in a Bud Light.
No, that's not true. Bud Light's got to be 90 calories.
110 calories. There we go.
Okay.
So it's not even that much less than a Guinness.
Yeah, but Guinness has body. That's what it has. It has a lot of. There's a lot of things in there, like solids and tannins, and I don't know
Solids
what.
is solids in your
Yeah.
Guinness.
I mean, there's something that makes it that dark. And why is it like translucent beer? Like your regular ass fucking, Bud Lights and Coors Lights and Michelob Ultras and all that shit. You can see through it because there's not all that fucking
Let's
shit
see.
floating around in there.
Guinness is actually not black, but rather dark ruby red because of the way of the ingredients are prepared. The way the ingredients are prepared.
Yeah, but that
Some
red, what does it come
barley
from?
is roasted. It's roasted in a way similar to coffee beans, which gives Guinness its distinctive color.
So it's
Roasted.
toasted beer,
Yeah, basically.
but they use malt in it. I think is like the main
Uh,
activating fucking starch or whatever or sugar. But either way, if it fucks up my insides for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I gotta like if
cannabis beer.
telling you if I drink
So
drink two
what's
or three
with
whiskeys.
the Putin heading? So what's with the Putin heading? So what's with the Putin heading? Read
Pudding heading.
read what it says, Robert.
What
Put in the pipe and smoke
and
it. Put in
smoke.
the pipe and
Put
smoke it.
in the pipe and
See,
smoke it.
I put
But
the
it's a
live
plant,
rosin in the pipe, the
and
electric
he
pipe,
smokes it.
the electric dabber, and I'm going to smoke it. Cheers,
And he
everybody.
smokes it. Put in the pipe and smoke it. Well, it's a play on words to the newly bonded broship between fucking Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping. They're best friends now. You see, they're hugging it out. And
I
shit.
don't think they're best friends now. I think they've always been buddy buddy.
They look a little bit more best friend-ish, I think, because of the current climate. Like they have found
Because of the weather.
yes, because of the political weather across the Pacific Ocean. Because now you're talking about looking the other way. We think we're looking at Russia, looking at the Atlantic, at Europe, but nope, they're like right next. It's like imagine if we had like a country between us and Canada that was just like landlocked in the center, but we were still connected, like on other sides and shit. That's sort of like that because they still run train literally through fucking Central Asia. And
I'm sure he's
fucking
a strain somewhere.
oh yeah, there's a lot of fucking straining trains. But they still run train through Central Asia, so they're right connected to fucking China. And like I mean, in more of a way now because like they're just fucking flaunting their love for each other in front of everybody, which is sort of like I guess the cat's out of the bag in 100%. You know what I mean? If there was ever any doubt
Well, where's your? Oh, excuse me. Wouldn't you say in China the cat is in the bag?
Cat would be in the bag if you. Yeah, I mean, depending on the market.
Sorry, that might have been a little racist. Just a little bit.
But
It's not. It's not. Wait, they got rid of the dog festival. That wasn't in China,
that's
was it? That
Korea.
was
That's
Korea.
South Korea has a dog festival. Yes, but either way, and it's I guess it's just like a play on like they they eat a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? A wide variety. So why not? So why not a cat? I guess.
Wow.
I mean, I was interested maybe at one time eating a cat, and then I got a cat, and then I'm
I
like,
mean,
I can't eat my friend
yeah,
because now
no,
it's your
but
friend.
yeah, but it's an animal. I mean, it's probably delicious.
If you make it a certain way, it probably
Yeah,
tastes really
it's
good.
probably delicious.
I mean, if you cook anything good,
That's another
it's
great
gonna
name
taste
for
good
an
if you cook
episode.
it well.
Pets are delicious. It's a fucked up name, but let's be real here. Your parrot probably
Or
tastes like chicken.
anything is food if you cook it right.
You heard what I said? I said your parrot is probably delicious.
I don't think they would be this, because they okay. Have you ever seen one that is molted?
Yes, it's
They
fucking weird
don't
looking.
have much meat on them, so I don't think they would taste that good. The reason
I'm
why we
pretty
like
sure.
chicken, because chickens for their size are fucking cock diesel
I'm
for
pretty
their
sure
body weight.
if we had a diesel or obese parrot, it'll taste delicious.
Like I've always wanted to eat ostrich, and I'm pretty sure
Ostrich
people
I've
say
had.
it's good.
I've had it from a place called Bear Burger.
Was it
It
an ostrich burger? Was it like
Yes,
made? Okay.
yes. It was good. I liked it. It was like in between, somewhere in between chicken and like pork. It was like somewhere in the middle.
I figured it was. I just imagined it tasting like dark meat turkey or some shit like
Yeah, it
that.
was very similar to turkey, and I'm not a big
It's
turkey
still, it's still,
fan.
it's still like gamey, like it still tastes like foul, right? Like
Yes, it's still gamey and
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I have duck, or like, and for a second I think I'm eating pork, but
yes,
it's
like
duck,
duck.
But
That's correct, Robert. It
yeah,
was very similar to duck.
I would love to fuck with that shit. I would do a duck burger. Fuck yeah, duck is mad fatty.
Duck is good. I like duck. Oof, this hits very nicely, very strong.
I put in the pipe and smoke it.
So, it's like the worst. It's the worst two people you want to be friends, I guess.
Yes,
Putin
I mean
and
making that looking that chummy in front of each other, because it's not like
yeah, let's look at
okay.
photos of them meeting. Let's see.
I think they dapped each other up, right? Wasn't there like a plat plat, and they like went in for the hug, right? Didn't they just lock up and go for the hug? Looked like it, or maybe that was like some sort of remix that I see. Don't believe everything you see on the internet, everybody.
Apparently, they ate pancakes together.
Like crepes or like Canadian style flapjacks,
I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. I'll share the screen.
like Bisquick. Is that would that be like taunting the United States? They cook food with each other. Yo, they're broing it up. Look at them. That's the word that's going around. Everybody's calling them the new bromance, right?
As much as I mean, I don't, I can't say I hate Putin because I don't know the guy. You just know what the news says about him and whatnot.
This
But
is a scary team up, is
like
what I'm saying.
out of all the world leaders, he's probably the one that's like the most. No, maybe not the most legit martial artist, but like he's up there. He's a legit sambo practitioner.
Yeah, and the Russians revere their sambo. That's their
And
wrestling, right?
yes,
That's right. That's their like that. They took like Greco-Roman wrestling and
that's
then did
their
some.
jiu-jitsu, that's their wrestling, that's
Yeah.
their martial art. And it's legit. And he's like of all the world leaders that I know of at least, he's
So I got a question, right? Why did he take Steven Seagal so seriously then?
when did he take him seriously?
Like, wasn't Steven Seagal like ambassador to like Russia and like Putin like
I don't think that was
rode
real.
out with him too?
There was a
Didn't
show
he?
of Steven
Didn't he
Seagal
like?
going around arresting people for Christ's sake.
I heard. Well, not heard. I read that was legit. That like sheriff's badge was like a real thing.
Oh my god,
But he did it for the TV show also. Like he didn't just do it for the TV show. Like he did it for a while, I think before and after. I think he just did it for the clout in general, and they made a TV show out of it.
Hey, look at this. Is he really that tall and that big? That looks photoshopped.
No, he's tall. He was tall. He was like, you gotta understand, Putin's short.
Steven Seagal is 6'4"? I had no
Yeah,
idea. Holy
but
shit.
Putin's like 5'7", maybe, right? But that's what probably helps him being low to the ground. You think
5'7", yeah.
You think Putin takes him in a fight?
Yeah, I think anyone could take Steven Seagal in a fight. He was a legit practitioner of
Aikido, yeah,
or whatever the fuck you would call it. But listen,
yeah. You mean this?
he
That was the move, right? Wasn't that the move? Like he would just do this. Guy would fucking come and throw a punch at him. He would just go. He would just do that, and it would block every move. And the guy got thrown through a window. Guy got thrown to a table. It was always a toss, like a judo toss.
Hey Robert, yes, he is a criminal. You're correct. Steven Seagal is a criminal. No, I know you're talking about Putin. I know.
Yo, I wouldn't be. I knew Steven Seagal most likely like mobbed it up with some like mafia dudes through Hollywood and shit like that. And I knew that there's stories about him maybe getting punked out by some fucking wise guys. While he was making all those movies like Hard to Kill and what was the one? They actually filmed one around the corner from my house when I was growing up. What the fuck was it called? Was it something kill? The something out to kill? What was it? What were the movies? Hard to Kill? Was it Hard to Kill?
Hard to Kill. I think it was Hard to Kill.
Yeah, and then there was another one.
When did he become ambassador of Russia? 2018.
That's fairly recently.
Stop it.
He really let himself go, huh? This guy couldn't. He just stopped flipping people for a while and was like, "I'm going to be a cop." You know what happened was he got the gun and he didn't have to do the keto to anybody anymore, so he just got fucking fat.
He's 70 years old, dude.
I know. Hey, listen, I know I'm being hard on the old guy, but
was Steven Seagal a Navy SEAL? In '92, he played one.
I think he did. Yeah, right. What was that like? Fucking when he was the cook.
Yeah,
wasn't he not Navy SEAL? He was Siege. Under Siege. Yeah, like he was like the cook.
Weird science.
But he like fucking did some shit like. Yeah, Kelly LeBrock. You know who Kelly LeBrock is, right? The model from Weird Science that they turn the doll into the woman and then they like fucking. It's pretty much the most perverted teenage high school movie ever.
I know Weird Science.
Yeah, you remember they just create. Spoiler alert! They create. Well, when she was younger, I mean, I think that's her older. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he definitely beat the crap out of her because that was news too. He just
does
slapped
look like
her.
a woman beater.
I mean, okay, is this really a beating though?
What is what the?
Or okay. He just go, or like, or reverse it. Reverse it. It was just like this.
Is this way instead of that way?
Then,
it's this way?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say before about Aikido is, while I do consider Aikido a martial art, yes, it is.
So is Tai Chi.
However, I think the world's greatest Aikido practitioner will still lose to an amateur MMA fighter.
Oh, yes, of course. Agreed.
And I mean amateur.
Agreed, yeah. You could have like a high school wrestler, I think, would get their ass whooped by an Aikido person. Like a skilled high school wrestler. Like an elite, like on all state, like champion is beating an Aikido. Like in grappling at least. You know what I mean? Which mostly that Aikido shit is, right? They don't really throw kicks. It's not like karate. Right? Or like Taekwondo has some sort of like flip shit too, where they could fucking toss or whatever in their rules, within the rules of that, like Olympic Taekwondo or whatever. And karate has that too, where you're allowed to throw, you get points for throwing people aside from kicking and punching. But somebody told me back in the day that Aikido was made up. Like it was like not an ancient martial art. Like it was like something that was made up more recently.
But look at
No,
this
I
one.
know that, but
Hold on, look,
like
look.
jujitsu has years, like not Brazilian jujitsu, but it
listen,
has like
hold on.
centuries. Like
Yes, however, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu took it to a whole nother level, and that wasn't even that long ago. Like,
so,
these
I
guys
got a
are
question.
still alive.
I got a question, right? Since all this ancient martial arts shit, we're talking about fucking Putin being a martial artist. Maybe he's broing it up with Xi so he could get to meet like fucking Pai Mei and then learn from like fucking Pai Mei and then to like fight the Americans. Maybe that's like his story. He's like trying to like, meet some ancient warrior that's like held up and locked up in China, and Xi Jinping's the only person who has access to him or some shit.
So, hold on, I'm going to show you an Aikido practitioner. You ready? Ready for some legit Aikido?
Legit Aikido. Okay, this guy.
You ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, McDojo Life. I love McDojo Life.
So watch. Look at this technique. Isn't that amazing? Look.
Wow, he is trying so hard.
I wish I can go there right in front of this guy and punch him in the mouth and see what happens. Because all these people in the background here are being ripped off right now. Touch.
And he's, and all right. So he's like one would say he's like a martial arts charlatan.
Yes. I love that word now, by the way. I've used that word 3 times this week.
Charlatan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? A phony, a fake?
Yes.
A rook?
Like, how do I go to this fucking thing? So that I don't know if it says they tag the keto in that, but
I love this. I love this. Like the whole compilations of like the fake fighters and like the fake martial artists and stuff like that. Like that dude who's just like flipping his hands and people are just like falling over and stuff like that. It literally looks like what are those like those evangelical revival. What are they like those?
Yes. No, I know you.
Churches
I don't know the word,
where people just start bugging out and shit and like. And they all fall back, and the guy pushes towards the crowd, and everybody in the crowd goes back, and he threw a Hadouken at them or some shit. And like these dudes are just like sort of air blocking fucking shots and stuff, right?
Let's take a look at some of these. Let's watch.
This is my favorite shit, is watching this shit.
Move here. We're in the clinch together. Get me all clinched up, and this hand is simply going.
What is this guy doing? So he's clinched up. His hands are by his head. His other hand's on his arm. He's just. What is this behind him? It's like bear claws.
I think that guy's like. I think that dude is like. I'm gonna pretend you're a sandwich.
Right.
Going to slide down the conception vessel all the way down to get him to release.
What did he just say? The conception vessel.
Conception vessel all.
What?
What? Why couldn't he just say the balls? Like.
And it's simply going to slide down the conception vessel all the way down to get him to release.
Oh my god, these guys are fucking. Oh my god.
Second grappling technique is again off of this technique here. If I am in his guard, he has me in the guard, I am simply going to press down on the stomach 25 or straight down to get him to release so I can break his guard. My final grappling technique.
This guy's really selling it for him, though. The guy's really selling it for him. The guy sound like I've made that noise getting hit in the nuts before, but like obviously, he's pulling his punches.
The second you move your fist to my chest, like the second you move your hands from there and down, I'm grabbing your arm and I'm breaking it.
There's too much distance, right? You're leaving yourself too vulnerable when you do something like that.
You
like
can do
you
that,
slip
but
your
you're
arm
not going to gain enough power in enough time to hurt me.
Plus, you're gonna try. Like the guy on the ground is gonna be trying to snatch at you.
Yes.
You don't just leave your arm.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't just leave your arm out like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Release so I can break his guard. My final grappling technique is off of this technique here. He's on.
Off of this technique here.
I'm going to isolate this arm, and then I'm going to go behind, triple warmer, straight into the back, triple warmer to roll him off of me. My first grappling technique is off of.
So that last thing he showed, The guy's gonna be on top of you,
I'm gonna go
not
behind,
holding you and
triple
waiting.
mount. I'm going to
He's
on the mount. I'm
gonna he's gonna be
technique here.
raining punches on your face. If I hold you down like that and I'm like, "Rrr," and you do that to me, you're gonna get punched in the face. Don't do that.
Yeah, you can still punch from your back, man. You
If
can
getting
still
out
throw punches from your
of
back.
if getting out of full guard, I'm sorry, full mount, was that easy, every UFC fighter would be doing it. Every jiu-jitsu practitioner would be doing it.
That's where that's where the test of efficacy comes in, is when you watch it in a live competition where people are like legit like fighting for their life and like fucking like, because they are fighting for their livelihood, at least, you know what I mean, and for their lives. It's dangerous in there too. But the thing is if you don't see it there, chances are it probably doesn't fucking work. You know what I mean? Unless you're legit fighting like adolescent fucking like preteens, not even teenagers, because I think a teenager would fuck you up if if they knew what they were doing and you did not, and you listened to half the shit. But it's fucking hilarious, dude. Some people take it very seriously to this day.
Single-handedly transformed.
But back in the day, that shit used to be very prevalent. In the 80s, there was a lot of fucking charlatan martial artists. There was a lot of people. There was a lot of. I remember in the fucking 80s, there was probably about every maybe 10 blocks, there'd be 2 like karate schools or dojos that would just pop up. Most of them would be gone in 6 months. You know what I mean? But they would pop up all the time, and it was always like legit, like that fucking character from Napoleon Dynamite. It would just be some dude in parachute pants and a fucking mullet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that. What the hell is it called? Sorry, I'm watching some legit jiu-jitsu now. No more of this fake shit.
This is what works.
Long time. Oh, Gary taps! Wow! It is done. Gordon Ryan. Really flattened out here. Wearing this.
Best ever do it, right?
Oh, it's in. It's in.
Yes, Gordon Ryan is the best to ever do it. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, our fans out there. So in jiu-jitsu, you lose a lot because it's like playing chess, and you if you're even the highest level, you're gonna lose occasionally. You can get tapped out or whatever. Gordon Ryan is so good that he hasn't lost in 2 years, 3 years, or some nonsense. Yeah, he's so good that he'll walk up to the ref and the judges or judge, and give them an envelope and say, "Don't open this until after I win," and then he'll go and submit the guy by arm triangle 2 minutes in, and then the envelope's gonna say arm triangle.
Legend.
Fucking legendary.
Yeah,
That
he hit
dude
the
is
cheat
a
code.
legend.
He put the cheat code. He's
Yes.
like one of the cheat code guys. Yeah.
This
You-
guy-
it's like, what do they call it? Like it's a little bit over once in a generation, because in jiu-jitsu and in MMA, there's been a lot of once in a generation guys.
It's all
like even
all
like
these
the
guys
greatest
that come
as far as
from
jiu-jitsu
the
goes.
Danaher gym. Danaher.
Right. Yeah.
All those guys that were trained by John Danaher are legit. All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Gordon
Monsters. Yeah.
Gordon Ryan. What's the other one? There's a bunch of them. It's wow. How did I forget his name? Sorry, I'm stoned and I forget things.
But either way, you know what I mean.
Just look at some of these.
That's what works.
Wow! Gordon!
I mean, he's going against the best in the world and just submitting everybody.
Language he has.
And there it is, and he's done!
By the way, that submission fucking
Perfect
hits.
position for him. He's going to try to grab a hold of that leg, which he has.
I just want to,
Perfect
this
position.
guy who's right, not the one who won. He's stuck in that position. He's trying to get. He looks like he's just laying there. He's trying to get his foot out, but there's nothing really you can do once you're stuck in this position.
No, you're locked.
It's
And he's trying to
For
prop
him,
himself up.
He's going to
Yeah.
try
He's
to.
trying to push himself, but that's actually making it worse, probably, right?
now
Is
Yes.
because
Well,
you're
it's not
wrenching
making it
yourself.
worse, but like this example is not a great example because this submission itself is kind of, if in a street fight you wouldn't want to be in this position because you're just gonna get kicked in the face.
Yeah.
But this is not a street fight. This is jiu-jitsu, so there are more rules. But even in a street fight, I would not want to mess with this man because you take someone down, get on top of them, and choke them out. It's over. The fight's over.
But there are freak occurrences. Like there was that guy who fucking beat that motherfucker in an MMA match with a Boston Crab. Did you see that shit?
It does hurt. I mean,
No, of course, but just how
hurt.
quick even that can happen. You see some freak submissions happen that you're like, damn, I've never seen that outside of training before. Like I've never seen that. Like, okay, you like, you know, legit. Yeah, yeah.
Switching to the single leg now.
Oh, nice. Picks him out, puts him down.
Jones really grimacing there.
Really grimaced when he landed there and giving up the neck. No, just controlling at the moment.
Looked like he was going for a Japanese
he's in the
necktie
position.
briefly. Jones is really
Damn, he gave himself up like that twice.
happy in there, Steve.
No,
these guys are super amateurs,
Oh,
man.
Boston Crab!
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Boston Crab!
Boston
Oh,
Crab!
my God!
Oh, he's got it! It's the
unbelievable!
And the walls of Jericho
Oh,
finishes it!
I just want to say something. It's
Never in
interesting
my life
that these guys are
have I seen anything
super
like
like.
that.
I'm not
they're-
it's not
they're
the Boston
super
Crab,
amateur.
It's the
I-
Bolton Crab, and
I
it's
can't
John
talk because they're in the ring and
O'Meara!
I'm not, but I mean that. Yeah. The other guy,
Oh, my God!
even before it, the other guy, the
Jones
guy in
really
red was just
grimacing
not.
there. To the single leg now for a high crotch takedown.
Like he
switching.
has right here. He has the choke, by the way. He's just not. He's tired.
skilled enough. Yeah, and he's also not skilled enough to fucking get, you know,
Well,
like.
it's hard to do when your legs being grabbed and pulled under.
Yeah.
But you gotta crank that shit. Damn.
I mean, it was funny, but I also called. I may call bullshit on that. It feels a little staged, you know, to be on your stomach that long.
Not even that.
Oh, Boston
Really.
Crab!
I feel like he says it before it actually happens.
Not looking happy
Look.
in there, Steve.
No,
Yeah,
he
the guy called it like he was Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah, it's gonna be right now.
Oh, Boston Crab!
See, he kind of just slides his other foot in there. Very weird.
Not like I don't know what this feels like, because one of your homeboys definitely put that shit on you when you were fucking backyard wrestling back in the day. Everybody knows what a Boston Crab feels like, or figure four.
The figure for a
You
leg
know,
lock hurt too.
Yeah, like I hung out with dudes. We would intentionally like not knock each other out, but like choke each other out. You know what I mean? Pass out. Somebody would catch you, and then fucking wake you up. You know?
No,
And
I
it would
don't know.
always be somebody.
It's
It would
dangerous.
always.
I don't know.
You never messed with that shit before? You ever do that shit where you cross your arms and somebody
Nope.
pushes up against your chest
Nope.
and you faint?
Nope.
Anyway, I had a really good time in high school.
So
Somebody would press you up against the locker and you'd have to take a deep breath, but you would fucking pass out immediately.
But you have to understand, like I studied or trained martial arts for like a very long time, and even at a young age, I did taekwondo. So like I didn't really.
You ever
fuck
let
around.
somebody just go and like fucking and you don't get a chance to tap out and you just go out,
Well,
or
that's
do you
happened
get to
me-
tap most of the time?
That's happened to me once,
Where you
where they didn't.
that
Someone's handing me peanut butter. I don't know who. The producer of the show has just handed me peanut butter. It's pink and colorful, and
what?
that was a cookie or something in the peanut butter. What? Good night, Robert. Have a good night.
I think she's telling you
Thanks
to
for coming
eat
by
the whole thing in
and
one
like and
shot.
subscribe and sorry I'm eating alcohol. I'm talking with peanut butter. Sorry, you guys don't want to hear me chew. What flavor is this?
Carnival cheesecake.
Carnival cheesecake peanut butter. And you added the cookie yourself. Oh, the cookies come in it too?
Comes in a jar like that?
How did you banana cream pie too?
Bring me one of the jars. We could be sponsored by Nerdy Nuts.
Nice.
Anyway,
I knew that they were doing like some weird peanut butter shit, but I didn't know they were actually throwing like cookie bits inside that.
No, this
That's
company
dangerous.
is good. This company is good. Like, it's not peanut butter. It's basically candy. It is dangerous. Like, I could sit there and eat the whole jar, and it's not.
I've had my days where I was just too high and I'd eat a jar of icing with a spoon.
Oh my God, me too.
I don't know how I don't have diabetes, to be quite honest with you.
Neither do I.
Nerdy nuts. Nerdy
This
nuts.
one
That shit looks
is-
good.
This one is banana cream pie. I didn't mean to put emphasis on the last part of that flavor,
Cream?
but it's banana cream pie.
It's banana mallow cream and fluff
There's fluff in here
and banana mallow cream.
and banana.
Before I've done the mixing fluff. I've done the mixing fluff and peanut butter.
And banana chips.
I've done the mixing cream cheese and
I'm
fluff.
probably making her go nuts because I'm mixing it. And you don't mix it? You don't mix it?
It's already mixed, if you think about it. It's already mixed
Wow.
up. Like, why would you have to mix it more if it's already looked like that?
very banana heavy.
God damn.
Wow. Very good. You don't want your spoon? Not after bananas on it. Wow.
Yeah, I can't do that fucking... I can't do the double dip shit. I use a different spoon for my jelly or jam that I use for the peanut butter. I don't use the same spoon.
I don't use a spoon.
Or knife.
I use a knife.
Yeah. I just figured since we were talking peanut butter on a spoon just now, I just use spoon as the vessel apparatus.
So,
What would you use for the spoon?
quick
Do
question.
you think Z or Putin eats peanut butter? A very American product.
Is it?
Yeah, peanut butter was like invented in Georgia, right? Like George Washington Carver or some shit.
Let's see.
A Georgia peanut farmer. I'm pretty sure. Or was Jimmy Carter a peanut farmer
The
from Georgia?
earliest references to peanut butter can be traced to the Aztec and Inca civilizations. Wow.
They had peanuts
Who
in
ground
Central
roasted
America.
peanuts into a paste. However, several people can be credited with the invention of modern peanut butter and to the process involved making it. The U.S. National Peanut Butter Board credits 3 modern inventors with the earliest patents related to the production of blah 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 blah. Yeah, Canada, and it's a guy from Canada, and
At the same time, probably like all in like the 1800s or some shit.
yeah, basically. So there's your answer. I don't even know where we were going with that.
You were just eating peanut butter.
No, I know
just-
that. But hold on. Let me. Where'd it go?
Do they consume? Is there? Well, do you think there'll be an embargo on peanut butter going into Russia and
I don't think so because
Like,
it's
no
cold
American
there,
peanut
there's
butter?
Nothing to eat, and peanut butter lasts forever.
yeah, but no American peanut butter? Like, do you think like it's gonna get to that? Do you think now that they're all growing up that they probably have like, you know, some sort of, don't they have like an oil deal? Isn't there like a whole other group of countries like Iran and fucking, or not Iran, I'm sorry, India, along with all of them that like have their own like sort of agreement, like their OPEC
Probably.
or some shit like that. Like, and there's other, like, you know, like we always hear NATO, like, and we know what NATO is, right? Or do we know what NATO is? Well, if you don't, it's like a whole group of, you know, like Western countries that, you know, like broed up with each other. Now, fucking Russia and China, 2 pretty big fucking bros, are like broed up with each other. And it's a little bit more, I guess, intimidating than like the United States and UK. Like maybe UK has like some sort of clout, but They're not like a modern superpower like China or Russia.
They're British, so
Well, they used to be. They had like the fucking biggest navy in the world for centuries. And that's how they ended up fucking colonizing
Yeah,
like
and
a lot of the planet.
then during World War II, they had to commission all the boats they ever parked on their island to send to Dunkirk to save their asses.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I guess everything's sort of been downhill after fucking like we kicked their ass back in 1700s. For them, I mean,
Yeah, you guys were an epic empire until you fucked with the U.S. and
and it all went downhill after that. And I don't know if like that we could continue that kind of fucking like that energy. Like, yeah, it's like now it's almost 300,
let's be
300
real.
years later, you know what I mean? Or 250 years
So
later.
that was like the fall of the great European empire when they fucked with the U.S. and we beat them.
Yeah.
The French helped us a lot, but we beat them.
And a lot of other shit happened too. Like fucking countries started gaining independence from Spain and shit and France.
Would you say
like
the
at the
greatest
same
fall
time.
of Italy was like the fall of Rome?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe because some people could say that shit, but I don't know. I don't know if you could even compare the United States to Rome. I mean, you might be able to
I
compare.
wasn't comparing the
Yeah.
two. I was saying that was the downfall of the United States. No, excuse me, not the United States. The downfall of the United States is happening before our eyes.
Or is it? Or maybe this isn't the low point. Maybe
No,
it's
it's
not.
not the lowest yet. It's we're on the curve.
Yes. Yeah, it feels like gravity's slowly pulling down. Now that we're seeing now there's international banks that are asking to get fucking bailed out and shit. So, and that's part of that whole, and they're not always like there was that one Silicon Valley Bank, right? That fucking,
Wasn't it literally called Silicon Valley Bank?
Yes. Yes. And there's now I guess it's Eurobank, Credit Suisse,
Is that what it is?
and other banks that are tanking. Yeah, but how they're fixing this, I think, and I'm a dumb dipshit, so I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I think other banks now are bailing these banks out and or just taking them over and acquiring them.
Bad news. Banks.
Like to squash the so. I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing. I mean, at least now banks are coming to the fucking rescue, other banks, instead of, like governments having to bail out banks, which is fucking bullshit. But is that a good thing? Because, I don't know. Like, now it's like, think about it. Like, okay, so you just took, all right, so you're going to take care of all that bullshit? Yeah, we'll take care of all that bullshit. And to be like, okay, cool. But then if you ask me, like, well, what are you going to do to take care of all that bullshit? It's like there's all these people. Like, is their money still good? Because like here we have FDIC that covers you up until like $250,000 in each individual account.
I saw someone write like, "Hey, don't worry about it, because they insure your money up until this much. Only the billionaires have to worry about it." And I'm like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah. So what do? Do you have like? Like to keep yourself safe, do you have like
gold?
I have 100,000 accounts that are all maxed out at $250,000. You know what I mean? And I just like whatever interests. Like if I'm rich, like what do? You know what I mean? Like yeah, whatever. You could say gold, but most of these people, what they do is they spread their money out and their assets amongst real estate and properties and investments in other companies, and it's not like sitting in cash in banks, I guess. But the thing is, it's not a lot of it. I mean, maybe if you have $100 million, you might have like 20 million in a bank, but the rest of your $100 million is like, in shit, which it should be, because that's a smart thing to do. Because if banks be fucking just, a place to hold my cash, and they're just tanking like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Sounds safer underneath the fucking mattress.
I was just gonna say,
back underneath the mattress.
Mattress Bank is the best bank.
Mattress bank back in the day. I think. I mean, it was a stupid place to keep your money though, but like having homes, like a home safe, like a safe at home, built in, something
that's way
really
too
fucking
obvious, though.
fireproof. No, but I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna keep money like that, I mean, obviously underneath the mattress is, you can't do that shit. But I'm just saying, like, if that's a sign of things, because people are like, well, society's collapsed, markets collapsed, and this, blah, 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 and then everybody goes into like a poor frenzy. I don't think it would happen that quickly. I feel like it would be a slow deterioration of society, and maybe we might be seeing something that is that, or I don't know, like this society evolved from this. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of ridiculous shit that was going on. Yeah. Back in the day, people were fucking tripping on fucking tainted rye crops and killing witches. And killing witches. So, and we survived that as a society around the world because, people went on witch hunts in other fucking parts of the world also. It's, like it wasn't just like a clearly Northeastern American thing. That shit happened in fucking Europe. People thought they were seeing werewolves. They were all tripping on the shit that settled on fucking on the grain. And other people in other parts of the world would see shit too. Like it was all mass fucking hallucinations and shit. And that's pretty much, where most religion comes from. It's just somebody who was bugging out and thought they saw God in a burning bush.
I literally was just talking about this with my mother. Oh, by the way. So who's the dipshit of the week?
So my opinion, if you have a dipshit of your own, but my opinion, dipshit of the week is Justin Roiland's ex. Because if you haven't heard, and I don't think we spoke about this story, but I feel like I wanted to, but we just didn't get the chance to. Justin Roiland, one of the creators of Rick and Morty, right, was I guess sort of pieced out. I don't know if you could say he was fired, but he was let go from the show. Because he was accused of domestic violence, and then and there was a smear campaign that came up afterwards, and a lot of people are making fun of it. One of my favorite podcasts, Legion of Skanks, did an actual a reading of the text that he was sending to some of these younger women, and a lot of it was hilarious. But that's not what he was being ousted from the show from.
No,
it was domestic violence charges,
which as of today.
He's been acquitted. All the charges are dropped.
This is why you don't fire the person until the I understand you don't want to be associated with someone that might have done this, but might have doesn't mean has, and now that it's
and the show is half him. So what does Adult Swim do now?
All he was doing he used to be more involved apparently, and now all he's doing is the voices. He has no more creative control of the show anymore.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter, I guess. Was he an EP? What was his?
I know that he was co-creator. I know he wrote a lot of, not everything because they have writers, but I know that he, contributed a lot to the character, of Rick, as far as his
he is
cadence.
Co-creator of Rick and Morty, so he's not the main creator. Mm-hmm. And he voices Rick Sanchez and Morty.
Which is if a large part of your personality goes into it, but even still, just what do you do now? Do they take him back? Is it going to be okay, you remember what happens with James Gunn, right? James Gunn, that whole fucking thing went down. That was James Gunn, right? With the fucking cancel. Yeah. They want to cancel. And he's back now. Now he's back, and it's nothing ever happened. You know what I mean?
Well, it was for something he already had apologized for, I thought, too. It was
yes. And it resurfaced, and people were like, are you seriously going to keep this guy employed? And it's
yeah.
Yeah, because Guardians is fucking awesome, and like, sorry, bro,
He
but
said an insensitive joke regarding underage girls, I believe, or some nonsense.
yes, and they
And
they tried to
he
call
apologized
pedo
a
on
long
him.
time
Yeah,
ago for it, and
yeah.
they brought it back up. And it's
And
not the first
but in
time
this case, he never did any, like, Justin Roiland never did any of that to his ex, and it was proven that his ex was just doing it to get him canceled.
Yep.
Blatantly, like, that's
Yep.
just what was going on. That could be weaponized, like, lies like that and slander,
yeah,
because
100%
people are so quick to judge in these situations, could be weaponized so quickly. A lie can, that like it's like, yeah, people use it for whatever reasons. A lot of them are politically motivated. A lot of them are just emotionally motivated, like this one was. You know what I mean? But the thing is, in today's, like, climate, weather, or whatever, like,
Yeah.
you can't cry wolf, because fucking a stampede will come at you. You know what I mean? And that's what sucks. It's like, you don't understand, like, the kind of fucking shit that happens, especially to people. Yeah. And I understand, like, oh, well, this is like rich, famous people. When, like, whatever. It's not like this guy didn't work hard for what he has. You know what I mean? And it could just easily happen to anybody, But dipshit of the week definitely goes to Justin Roiland's ex for being a dumb
I'm glad
dipshit.
Wikipedia updated it already, but it's like, in March 2023, the criminal charges against him were dismissed. So why leave the allegation issues in his Wikipedia? Oh, I guess because he lost his job over it, so they'll talk about it. But like,
Yeah,
he
like,
was
they did-
acquitted
like,
of it, and there was not acquitted, but there was not enough proof, so they couldn't do anything about it. Take
Like,
it out of here.
I'm pretty sure that that shit with Louis fucking is still in his Wikipedia.
Yeah, but I mean,
I mean, like, it's a big part of, like, listen, you're not going to take the fucking, smoking crack, naked on fire away from Richard Pryor, even though, his Wikipedia is chock full of fucking a whole bunch of other shit, like Superman 3. Or his fucking many times, I think, hosting Saturday Night Live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's
No,
a
I get
legend.
it.
And he's a legend. But there are other legends who are just, asterisk is just going to stay there. It's just Barry Bonds is always going to be, like, known as, like,
Wasn't
the juiced up baseball player.
Who's the one who got in trouble for gambling?
Pete Rose.
And he was
He
gambling
placed.
on his own team to win and was losing.
Yes, this is the thing. All right, one could argue he would bet on his team no matter what.
Yes. He was betting on his team, and they weren't winning, and he was still losing money.
Yes, but he would win money when they won. You know what I mean?
Of course, but
this is the thing. It wasn't like
he was betting on the other team and making his team lose.
they never came to the conclusion that the fix was in.
Exactly.
Just that he was a degenerate gambler, right? He had the disease, okay, and whatever. But he none of his bets dictated whether or not his team was going to win or lose. Especially when he put like $5,000 on the fucking Cincinnati Reds and they lost. You know what I mean? And that happened a lot.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
were not a winning team when he was the
I
manager.
forgot what comedian brought that up in stand up, and they're like, "You're gonna get this in trouble for betting on your own team and losing."
Yes. Now, there was something that just opened that Pete Rose put the first bet on. I think, oh man, it was somewhere. Maybe it was in Cincinnati or some shit like that. Like the first sports book.
Like, all right. Legal? The first legal?
Yeah. Google Pete Rose puts bet in sportsbook. And if it's like March 2023, then that'll be, like I think it was somewhere ironic.
2013, you said?
No.
Is it this year?
I think it was this year. I think it just happened like a couple days ago or something like that. Pete Rose puts in a bet.
Okay. Life has come full circle for MLB legend Pete Rose.
Yeah.
After receiving a lifetime ban from the MLB in 1989 for gambling on the Reds when he was managing the team, he placed a bet on Ohio's first legal sports bet on
Yeah.
the Reds to win the 2023 World Series.
They're not going to.
They're
They're not going to.
not
That's
going
the
to.
point. That's not the point because they are probably at the bottom of they're the shittiest team in the National League. Let's just put it that way. Like they're so shitty, right? They're so shitty that their mascot is bootleg Mr. Met. It's like Wario. It's like this, it's yeah, it's
You wanna hear something
Wario
funny?
to our Mr. Met with Mario. Yeah,
I've been
what's
to
up?
a Cincinnati Reds baseball game.
In Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati.
How did you like the stadium?
I thought I did. I liked it. It was. I forgot if it was Cincinnati or Cleveland. What's the Cleveland?
I think Cleveland has the Cleveland now. They're the Guardians,
What were
but
they?
the Indians.
Oh, the Cleveland. I forgot. They totally got erased from my brain.
I think they have. I think they're supposed to have a nice stadium.
I forgot which
so-
stadium was the nicer one, but I know at one of the stadiums I was like, "There's barbecue in here, like a barbecue pit. There's this and that. Oh my god, this place is
That
amazing."
might be Cleveland. That might be
Not
Cleveland.
Cincinnati. I've been to both,
I
but
don't think. Yeah, I don't think. But yeah,
I've been to a Columbus Clippers game.
oh, minor league. Speaking about minor league parks, I've been to 3 minor league parks in the last 2 weeks, and they are. I like stadiums. I love going to sporting events and like
Yeah.
an arenas. I like arenas. I like packed arenas. I like packed stadiums. And some stadiums are really nice. Some stadiums suck because sometimes it's just like, oh wow, there's still 50,000 people here, but there's nothing nice. That sucks. When it's 50,000 people and there's all this nice shit around and it's really like awesome chaos,
That's why
it's
I like
nice.
City Field. I like City Field.
Yeah,
I like it.
that's a nice
That's a
stadium.
nice stadium.
But the little minor league parks, they're not too overcrowded, but they are still just big enough for there to be nice
Like,
food.
I
I had good barbecue at a minor league
Yeah,
park.
the
the other
Columbus
day.
Clippers used to have good food too. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be too packed. And they were the minor league Mets or Yankees at one point. They're not anymore.
No, they change all the time. Like
Yeah.
minor league, they may keep a minor league team for a couple of years, but then if it doesn't pan out for them to keep it there, like money wise, they'll move the team somewhere else, or they'll leave the franchise and sell it to another team. So some other major league team might buy that team and have it as their farm team. So sometimes they, like the Cyclones will always probably be a Mets farm team. You know what I mean? Like minor league team.
Wow, that's hilarious. Guess what minor league team the Columbus Clippers are for who now? Guess who?
The Yankees,
The Indians.
the Indians. Yeah, because
The
they're right
Cleveland
next to them.
Indians / Guardians.
Yeah.
And they used to be from 1979 to 2006 the Yankees. It was the Yankees.
Yeah, and they'll switch hands every so often. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. But there are some teams that'll stay. Like the Port St. Lucie Mets may only be the Port St. Lucie Mets for like another 10 years but it could be longer. It could be forever because this is where they come to practice in spring training. You know what I mean? That all depends too. You had teams that would move out to Arizona and start training out there and then get rid of all their their AAA teams near the area because they moved out west. It's crazy the way, dude. There's this is the crazy thing with football, right? There's no real minor league football like there is now. The XFL and the USFL, like they have that, and they have
the XFL still exists.
Yes, The Rock is fucking pushing that shit hard, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's on ESPN. They play it on ESPN like every so often, every couple of days.
Oh,
It's
because
on now.
he's one of the
Season's happening
partners.
now.
He's partners.
Yeah, you would say he's probably more the face. I don't know if he owns like the biggest stake in it, but I know.
According to their website, it's Alpha Aquico LLC, It's Redbird Capital, which includes Dwayne Johnson, Danny Garcia, and several other
It's
people.
It's their partnership. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but but this is how it goes. Like with football, like the chances of you getting into the NFL are super slim, right? And most of those guys, if they don't make it to the NFL, maybe some of them will play Euro ball, like in Europe, or they'll play Canadian football, or they'll play, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most of them won't, right? And there's not that many. But with baseball, on the other hand, there are so many fucking minor league teams, and there's 30. You know, like let's just say for 30 major league teams, each team has at least 3 minor league teams.
Well,
So
they want to scout that talent, you know?
and they'll play baseball, and people like you're more likely to end up playing baseball. Whether or not you'll be a major league baseball player is the question, but being a pro baseball player, you know, in the minors is still pretty likely, you know, and it's the same thing goes for basketball. Basketball's probably your slimmest fucking chances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to be legit.
Because of how many people are on a team. Because even with football, there's 50-something people on a roster. On a basketball roster is 11, I think, right? Or something like that.
I don't know enough about basketball. I couldn't even tell you how many people are on a baseball team, dude.
24, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. You could be
Football
wrong.
team, I think, is 53 person
Jesus.
roster. Or 47 or 53, depends. Something like that. There's a lot of people on the roster. You know what I mean? And hockey has got to be the same as basketball because the same amount of people play out on the.
Isn't like 12 to 14 or something? Like
something like that. It's got to be like your hockey team's got to be at 11 to 14.
Well, how many people are in the
5
ice? 5.
I think
I
5.
said field. I think what it was.
Yeah, and basketball's 5.
So you assume you have different lineups.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's actually called. Completely.
Yeah, but or combinations of players on the field,
Yeah.
or on the ice, or
So
on
I'm
the
thinking
court.
of we could Google this. Why are we sitting here guessing? Before we end the episode,
the likeliness of because this is the thing. I see this with fighting, and
what's
I
your
said
guess
this
for
with
our
fighting.
hockey team?
Hockey team roster?
Yeah.
I would say 12.
20.
20 on the roster. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because you need like a backup goalie.
2 goalies.
Yeah.
So it's 12 defensemen, 2 goalies, 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, and 2 goalies.
2 goalies.
But that's only 19, so I'm missing 1. 12
I-
forwards, 6.
I think your chances of becoming a professional fighter is the slimmest. Or like all sorts of like one-on-one competition fighting. You know what I mean? It's got to be like tennis. You know what I mean? Like tennis has to have numbers like that. Like the chances of you being a fucking world-class tennis player.
It's
has to
12, by
be-
the way, in a basketball team.
12 on the roster?
Yeah.
Okay.
And football is 53.
53. And baseball's 24, I think.
28.
28, okay.
With a limit of 14 pitchers.
And that could change too. They could put Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So your chances of becoming a baseball player are actually still pretty fucking high. You know what I mean? But in contrast of how many people are on a football team to baseball team, because of how many teams these teams own that are under the umbrella.
Yeah.
And then there's independent league. And then you have shit like the Savannah Bananas. Do you ever hear about the Savannah Bananas?
No.
Savannah Bananas, for you people out there, is like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. So you know the Harlem Globetrotters and like all the trick shots and the super fancy maneuvers, and they would do dunk contests. So this team, you guessed it, its mascot is a angry banana with a baseball bat.
No.
I think you've seen me wear one of their hats before, actually, on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, and they have celebrities come out, and every game is sold out. And I think their
Well, that
stadium
shit's it's
holds like
entertaining.
it's
Of course.
insanely entertaining. Yeah, they have a dude come out and pitch on stilts. They do like they don't need cheerleaders because they all do synchronized fucking dances and shit in the field before the guy swings the bat. So it's crazy.
Weird.
It's nuts. It's interesting. If you get a chance, look up the Savannah Bananas. I want to go to a game, but all their fucking tickets are sold out for everything because they only play minor league parks and they're small, like I said.
Yeah.
And they're so popular that they sell out these 6,000 person, and it's pretty cool, man. If you ever get a chance, check it out.
I should check it out one of these days.
Yeah.
And,
It's even if you don't like baseball, it's fun to watch.
well, it's not that I don't like baseball. I don't not like baseball. I don't. Anyway, thanks for watching the Dumbfounded Dipshits. We're live every Wednesday night at 9:15. We talk about random shit. Like today, we barely talked about Putin. Well, we did talk about Putin, but yeah, check us out. Like, subscribe, all that hoobity doobie. Have a good night. See you next time. Adios.